Zamfara State Government yesterday launched fumigation of public places. Zamfara State pardons 32 inmates. Nigeria records 195 new cases of COVID-19. Total infections now 1,532. On business, IMF approves $3.4 billion for Nigeria's COVID-19 fight. And on the international scene, COVID-19 pandemic is far from over. World Health Organization warns as countries ease lockdown. Hello viewers, welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Unyoza. Governor Bello Mohammed Matawale Maradun had yesterday at the Gusau Medical Center launched the fumigation of the state. Speaking at the occasion, Governor Bello Matawale Maradun said the action was to curtail the spread of coronavirus in the state. Governor Bello Matawale said the fumigation will be carried out in public places, which included general hospitals, markets, motor park, and other places.
We are going to get each isolation center one additional tent, which can accommodate 50 patients at once. And all those tents are here, you saw it by yourself. And all the fumigations and the disinfectant machines are all here with the chemicals. I know we have ordered more than 10 trucks of chemicals, which will do both land and air. Sometimes, maybe within 2 weeks or a week, we'll close down the state so that we can allow air fumigations for the whole state and for 2 local government areas. We are doing this in order to protect our citizens, because as a leader, all I want is to see how I can be able, within my powers, to make sure that we curtail this spread of the deadly disease of COVID-19.
It has come to the attention of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development that some people unknown to the ministry and therefore not acting on behalf of the ministry have illegally and fraudulently printed a purported enrollment form into the government enterprise and empowerment program of the federal government, which is supervised by the ministry. The persons involved are selling the registration form to unsuspecting members of the public for 2,000 naira. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development hereby emphatically declares that those involved in this unauthorized activity are not doing so on behalf of the ministry or the Bank of Industry, which finances the Genuine Chip program. Members of the public are by this notice strongly advised to shun the ongoing purported JEEP enrollment exercise in Zamfara State because it has nothing to do whatsoever with the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development or the Bank of Industry. The federal government yesterday handed over palliatives to Zamfara State government. The gesture included 3 trucks conveying 1,800 bags of rice and 700 jerrycans of groundnut oil. Receiving the consignment on behalf of the State Executive Governor Dr. Bello Matawale Maradun, his Deputy Barrister Mahadi Aliu Mohammed, Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning Alhaji Ibrahim Jibo Magayaki Kaura, thanked the federal government for the items, saying the goods have come at the right time. According to him, all the items will be distributed judiciously and will reach the targeted vulnerable and less privileged people in the state. Alhaji Ibrahim Jibo also said already the state government has constituted 2 major standing committees of impact and relief chaired by the Deputy Governor Barrister Mahadi Aliu Mohammed and Task Force Committee on COVID-19 chaired by the Speaker Alhaji Nasiru Mazuma Garia. He added that there are other subcommittees to take charge of 14 local government areas and wards across the state. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State has commended the federal government of Nigeria for reopening the only National Center for Disease Control and CDC testing center for coronavirus in the state after some days of closure. The governor made the commendation when he received members of the House of Representatives from Kano State on solidarity and sympathy visit on Tuesday night. According to him, this is a good development and effort by the federal government in supporting the effort of the state government on the fight against coronavirus pandemic. President Muhammadu Buhari deserves to be commended for ensuring that the testing center in Kano continue to function. Governor Bello Mohammed Matawale Marado has granted pardon to 32 inmates of the correctional center in Gusau, Zamfara State. This is in addition to the earlier 22 he granted similar gesture on behalf of the federal government last week. Governor Matawale granted a pardon in line with the international calls to decongest prisons and maintain social distancing at all times due to the ravaging spread of COVID-19. The governor adopted his earlier criteria of releasing inmates, which include the demonstration and exhibition of changed behavior on the part of inmates and those whose terms have almost come to an end. Other criteria followed in determining the beneficiaries of the gesture include those who have fully memorized the Holy Quran while in prison. Governor Matawale, who was represented by his Commissioner for Justice, Alhaji Nura Mohammed Zarumi, called on those released to fully imbibe acceptable lifestyles and shun their old ways of lives. Officials of Kaduna State government have boosted an Almajiri school in Zaria, where girls are kept in the same room as their male counterparts. The proprietor of the Islamic school, who was accused of giving away female pupils in marriage, was arrested in nation land. The traditional Almajiri system of Islamic education has been practiced for decades in northern Nigeria, exclusively for young boys whose parents sent to teachers far away from home to seek Islamic knowledge. Commissioner for Human Development and Social Services, Hajia Hafsat Baba, said 327 out of 500 pupils have been evacuated from the mud house where they were accommodated. The Katsina State government has received a set of 148 indigenous Almajiris from the Gombe State government. This is coming less than a week after the Kano State government deported over 400 Almajiri children from the state to the state government as part of measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. Speaking to Channels Television, the secretary to the state government, Mustafa Inua, who received the Almajiris, said they were deported since last night with 11 buses. Alhaji Inua revealed that plans are on the way to enroll all the returnees into different vocational training, stressing that they will be subjected to a medical examination. Nigeria on Tuesday recorded 195 new cases of the coronavirus infections, bringing the country's total infection to 1,532. In Bauchi State, 15 cases were recorded, 11 in Borno, 10 in Gombe State, and 9 in Sokoto State, according to a tweet by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. Of the new infections, 80 were recorded in Lagos, 38 in Kano, while 15 were recorded in Ogun State, 9 in Sokoto State, 5 in Edo and Jigawa, 2 in Zamfara State, and 1 each in Rivers, Enugu, Delta, FCT, and Nasarawa. So far, a total of 225 have been discharged, while 44 deaths have been recorded in the country. Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal has confirmed the death of 3 COVID-19 patients in the state. Governor Tambuwal, who made the disclosure in a statewide broadcast, according to a statement by his special advisor, Media and Publicity, Mohammed Bello, said the deceased had underlying sicknesses, including diabetes, asthma, and high blood pressure, respectively. Alhaji Waziri Tambuwal said it is with heavy heart that he had to break the news of the result of tests carried out by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control at the laboratory here in Usman Dan Fodio University Teaching Hospital, Uduf, whereby 18 tests were carried out. Unfortunately, 15 turned out to be negative. Most of them, if not all, are persons that have had previous contact with the 2 index cases that they have had initially. First Bank Nigeria Insurance and its subsidiary FBN General Insurance have donated an ambulance to the Lagos State government as well as food to the needy communities. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of FBN Insurance, Mr. Valentin Ojuma, explained that the gesture was to support the government effort in curbing the spread of the coronavirus pandemic in the country. He further stated that the firm, in collaboration with the others, was putting together resources to provide cover for medical personnel. The Managing Director of FBN General Insurance, a subsidiary of FBN Insurance, Mr. Bode Opadokun, urged Nigerians to adhere strictly to the precautionary measures as stipulated by the medical practitioners. Lasaco Assurance PLC has provided 1 billion naira free insurance cover to 200 frontline health workers in Osun State. Its Managing Director, Mr. Segun Balogu, has said. Mr. Balogu, in a statement, said the workers involved in containing the disease would enjoy insurance worth 5 million naira each to cover death, permanent disability, and medical hospitalization expenses. According to him, these are those exposed to several risks, adding that the gesture was to boost the morale and motivate the workers who are in the forefront of the battle against COVID-19. The federal government has been urged to establish testing centers in each of the local government council areas across the country. This is one of the prayers to a motion sponsored by the leader of the House, Al-Hassan Adodogua, on the urgent need for the federal government to intervene in the recent death recorded in Kano State. Leading the debate, the leader, who expressed worry over the rising spate of unexplained death in Kano State, stressed the need for the federal government to increase the testing capacity, especially in Kano State, to enable them to ascertain the causes of death recorded in the state. Alright, viewers, we're going to short commercial break, and when we come back, Standard Voice Television News continues.
Coronavirus or COVID-19, the most recent outbreak that has turned to be a global pandemic. Watch how it easily and quickly spreads among humans.
That you can save your life and save the lives of many others by keeping yourself and your environment clean. As part of your civic responsibilities, you should help the government to maintain a clean environment in its determined effort to prevent any outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 in the states. For your own safety, you should ensure regular washing of your hands with soap under running water or use sanitizer. Avoid body contact and avoid big gathering of people. In case you notice any symptoms of coronavirus, like difficulties in breathing, high body temperature, running nose, feverish condition, you should immediately contact any member of the contact committee on the outbreak of coronavirus COVID-19 on the following numbers: 081 65 40 86 96, 081 05 00 988, or 080-6303-5385. A stitch in time, they say, saves life.
This message is from Standard Voice Television, Svtv, Seoul, Zamfara State, Nigeria.
Welcome back. Let me quickly take you to our business desk with Rita Agwai.
Welcome to Standard Voice Business Update. The Board of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has approved the sum of $3.4 billion to support Nigeria's COVID-19 fight. The emergency financial assistance to Nigeria is the highest so far to any member country. The IMF Executive Board had approved $3.4 billion to help Nigeria address the severe economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the sharp fall of oil prices. The assistance facilitated via the Rapid Financing Instruments (RIF) will help limit the decline in Nigeria's national reserve, the IMF said. It will also help to provide financing for the country budget, which has been severely affected by falling oil, price triggered by the pandemic and price war. However, it is noted that short-term focus should be on higher health spending and palliative for household and businesses. And that's all on Standard Voice Business Update. Until I come your way again, I'm Ogwa.
And on the international scene, the World Health Organization has warned that the COVID-19 pandemic is not yet over as countries begin easing lockdowns. This warning came from the World Health Organization Director General Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus in a video posted on his official Twitter handle. According to him, as the cases continue to decline in Europe, countries must ensure they trace, isolate, and treat those infected with the virus. As lockdowns in Europe ease with declining numbers of new cases, he continued to urge countries to find, isolate, test, and treat all cases and trace every contact to ensure the decline trends continue. Dr. Ghebreyesus explained concern over the increasing rate of the pandemic in Africa, Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Asia, calling for unity in the fight against COVID-19. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Zamfara State Government yesterday launched fumigation of public places. Zamfara State pardons 32 inmates. Nigeria records 195 new cases of COVID-19. Total infections now 1,532. On business, IMF approves $3.4 billion for Nigeria's COVID-19 fight. And on the international scene, COVID-19 pandemic is far from over. World Health Organization warns as countries ease lockdown. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garobachinau. I still remain Musa Joy Onyola. Stay tuned.